Hi and welcome to Coaches on the Couch, your relationship specialists. My name is Sharon and this is Pollard, and today's topic of discussion is law of attraction. Now, why do you think we've selected that as a topic today?
Well, because I don't know if people know about the law of attraction or not. But here's the thing, whether you know about it or not, it's working anyway. I often say to my clients when they come to me, they're in a mess. And I can hear through their language that the law of attraction is working. I say, I've got too many bells, and I go into this whole big thing about their lives and how it's bringing them down. And I get, wow, the way they're speaking and the way they're being, it's attracted exactly what they have in their life right now.
That's right.
So maybe it's a time to start. It's a time to start to look at where do we go with this law of attraction? What's it really about? There was a movie called Law of Attraction, wasn't there?
I believe so. The Secret, are you talking about?
The Secret, yeah,
it
was
The Secret.
Based around the law of attraction, yes, The Secret. Now, I remember watching that and I thought, well, that's pretty good. But how do you just think about stuff and stuff happens? You know, and the more I watched it, the more I got out of it, of course.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that I think it was Dr. John DeMartini when he got on, and he said, you can think about things, you can manifest things or you like, but then you've got to do the hard yards, which is taking the actions.
Because it's you're 100% true there, Phil. And you know what I found in the past working with my clients is that this whole idea of law of attraction to them, a perception around, if I think a particular way, if I do the positive thinking and things like that, these things will start to attract in my life. Yet I do all these things, but how come I continuously get into the same relationships, or I'm continuously challenged by the same things around my finances, my particular job? What is it that I'm doing wrong? Because this law of attraction thing doesn't work.
Well, the first thing I say is, number one, you want to be actually aware of what you're saying and the actions you're taking. I remember this one client of mine, she was about to get married for the third time. And I'd known her for years, and she was a member of an extended family that I was associated with. And she married, when she was getting married for the third time, she said, "Oh, what do you think? Because you're the relationship specialist." I said, "Well, let's have a look and a listen here." And her first husband and her second husband were exactly the same. As in, they weren't the same person. They were like the type of person. They had different names. They even lived in different states. But if you didn't know, it was like she was describing the same person. She kept attracting the same person into her life. Because her big role that she took on that was working was she would try and rescue guys. And anyone that wanted to give her help in any way was someone who was just like just that wasn't going to work. But she was all up there and ready to change the world by changing someone, turn them from a certain way into the way that she wanted them to be. Dangerous moves, right? Because I don't think anyone really can be changed unless they want to. All change comes from within. So she was attracting that sort of person into her life, and she was about to do it for the third time. And in a conversation with her, she said, "Oh my God, I get it."
And she would have been doing this on a very, very subconscious or unconscious level. She wasn't
conscious.
Even aware of it.
Completely unaware.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she became aware, through the questions I was asking, the conversations we had, that it was like a little light bulb had come on. She said, "Oh my God, I get it."
And you probably heard the thought, what you focus on is what you get. It's like, you buy a red Holden, and you've never had a red Holden before, but yet after buying this red Holden, you tend to see them everywhere.
Let's go back to this girl who she had a friend, and she rang me, she said, "Look, I've got this guy, and he's a friend, but he's such a great friend. He does this and this and this and this and this for me." I said, "So let me just check again. What do you remember? We had a little checklist we did like 3 months ago on what an ideal guy might do or be for her." She said, "I'll go and get it." And her little footsteps running across. She comes back. She said, "Oh my God, he's exactly what I'm looking for. But he's a friend." I said, "Well, what a great place to start a relationship with a friend, and just explore that if it could be a relationship, what would that look like?" So just play with it for a little while. And that was probably about 4 years ago now, and they've been together for friends for a long time, but in a relationship that just works for them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing, and her life is turned around. She's got a lot more freedom. She's not with someone who wants to know what she's doing every 2 seconds. You know, he's giving her exactly what she needs.
Fantastic. So, if we were to break down even further what this law of attraction is, so that because not a lot of people have a perception or an idea around what it is, you know, the positive self-talk and you know the affirmations and things like that. What is it? What is law of attraction? Why is it that what you focus on comes into your life? Like how does that happen?
How does it happen?
Yeah.
Well, as I said, it happens automatically. As you said, it's whatever we focus on, it's whatever we bring into our lives, and whatever you surround yourself with. And it's even surrounding yourself. Have a look at your 6 best friends, is what they normally say. Your 6 closest friends. You are just a reflection and a mirror of those 6 friends. So have a look who they are, and that's my assertion, and it tends to be most of the time, is that that's who you like. That's what you put out there to attract. You know, when I wanted to become a coach, it was like, well, where do coaches hang out? What do they do? Well, the first thing was to get education, see where they go, and join clubs and Facebook pages and that sort of thing with them. And I started to have coaches as friends. And it's no mistake that we're friends because we got associated through a coaching group. Right. And it's just like, okay, so this is the sort of people that I want to be hanging with. And that's where you'll start to attract the people into your life when you're fully aware. Number one is awareness. Number one, that it works anyway. So why not create something? And it could be creating something like a manifest where you're actually literally writing down everything you want. Literally putting up vision boards that are in front of you every day that you can see. But more importantly is taking the actions. Yeah,
absolutely. And getting crystal clear on what it is that you actually want.
Absolutely.
Want in life, want within yourself, want within a career, whatever that may be. Because for me, the way the law of attraction works is if you focus on what you want, you will get that. If you focus on what you don't want, you will get that. So getting crystal clear on what you want.
Awesome. I love it. Now, we've got someone who is actually a law of attraction specialist, and she doesn't just do it around relationships, she does it around money, she does it around life. We've got her coming up straight after this break.
Hi and welcome back to Coaches on the Couch, your relationship specialist exploring human behaviour. We now have our very special guest that Phil will introduce to our show.
Yes, Sharon, we do. And look, our next guest was born and raised in Melbourne. She has suffered, like a number of us do, from self-doubt, anxiety, depression and fatigue during periods in her life. This led her to study psychology at university, but she became so disillusioned with the teachings that she couldn't use what she'd learned to help herself. So how was she supposed to help others? This led her on a journey to learn more about emotional and spiritual healing, the art of manifesting, which she now shares with others through her coaching business, with great results for her clients. Please welcome Stephanie Kakris.
Nice to be here.
Welcome, Stephanie. Lovely to have you here. So what was the moment for you that you decided that you needed to do something different?
I guess, I remember back to one point when I was working as an accounts clerk after I had a master's in psychology. I actually did sports psychology at uni. I've known since I was young, I'm one of these lucky people who I've always known that I wanted to do a profession that would get the best out of people and to help people to fulfill their potential.
Beautiful.
So I went along and diligently did all my university studies, and I did a science degree, and then I did a master's in sports psychology. But I didn't have any self-confidence or belief in the techniques that I was taught and used to really make a difference with the athletes. So I was doing a lot of free work to try and build a reputation, and I was doing accounts work to pay my way. And there was this one point where I was being paid $30 an hour, and I was doing this statistics stuff, and I just thought, Stephanie, what are you doing here? What is going on? And thankfully, not too long after that, I was introduced to a company called Beyond Success, who do a lot of emotional healing and coach training. And my husband signed him and I both up to do their coach training program, even though I was like, I don't need to do that. I've got a psychology degree and a master's. Why would I want to do coach training?
I'm so perfect the way I am.
Oh, yeah, not. And those two, in the first 2 days of coach training with this company, I learnt more about working with people and helping draw out of them what it is that to get the best out of them than I did in 6 years studying psychology at university.
What were some of the things you picked up in those first 2 days?
About real communication, the heart-to-heart communication, about how to build rapport, about what kind of great questions to ask people because as you know, as a coach, my philosophy, and hopefully most coaches' philosophy, is that we don't have the answer. As a coach, I don't have the answers for you. The client always has the answers. So the skill in coaching is to be able to ask great questions, to draw the wisdom that's already within the client out. And so that was one of the skills that we learned early on, was what sort of questions to ask to draw all that stuff out of them. And that's stuff I never learned in psychology. I never learned great questioning techniques or
isn't that incredible?
Emotional intelligence, basically. Like, emotions weren't even mentioned. It was all about, that you had to know, like, who did the primary goal setting study from like 1991. It's like, I don't care to know who did that study. What I care is my athletes can't perform in high pressure situations. How do I help them?
Yeah, absolutely. And would you say that you would be a specialist in the law of attraction?
I am now. I wasn't back then, but since then, I've studied all things spiritual, and with my science background, I particularly love the science behind the law of attraction. I love the quantum physics behind it, and that's the sort of thing that I teach people, and I put it in layman's terms, and I show them how it works, and magic happens from there.
Okay, so could you give us a little bit of a breakdown around what the science is with law of attraction?
Sure.
Love to hear about it.
So the science is basically that everything is energy. So we're made up much more of energy than we are of matter. And I like to see a goal or something that we want to manifest like a tuning fork. This is how I teach it. So imagine if I've got a tuning fork here and it is the letter G. So this is my goal of my perfect relationship, or to manifest clients for my business, or whatever it is. Now, if that's the G note, then I need to be vibrating at the G note to resonate with that goal, to make it turn up in my life. Now, if I sing a C note, then the tuning fork just stays still, doesn't do anything. And that's what most people are going along, singing the C note, looking at all the things that they've got in their lives that they don't want, and they wonder why the goal doesn't turn up. So basically, the goal of manifesting, bringing it back to how do we create the feeling in the here and now, in our vibrational energy, which is made up of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, but also just our energy in general, to match the goal that we want, bring it back to the here and now, and then the magic happens from there.
Love it. And how have you applied this to your own life?
So I use the law of attraction on a daily basis. So I use it to get a car park in a busy shopping centre. I use it to manifest a trolley when I haven't brought my wallet and a coin, so just the little things like that. But I also use it with bigger things. I manifested enough money to buy a car a couple of years ago when I just set the intention. I was like, rightio, we really need a new car. And within a week, the money turned up from some shares that was sitting idle, and I didn't know how much they were worth or anything. And we ended up with the money in a short period of time. So, and with my business and with my kids and all sorts of different things, I just use it with everything, really.
And can you tell us a little bit about the clients that you work with, and what is it that you do to assist them?
Yeah, so there are two types of people. There's one type of people where they know what they want, and they're taking the action to get there, but it's just not happening. So for that kind of person, I help identify where's the disconnect, what's happening in your vibration that's pushing that away, or just not allowing it to turn up. Yep. And then the other kind of person is the type of person that doesn't know what they want. So they think that they've got everything that they want, but they feel unfulfilled or dissatisfied or just generally unhappy. They're good at a lot of things, but they don't really actually know what they want. So that kind of person, then we can break down, well, let's have a look at, what are the things that are not working that you don't want, and then we can flip it around. So there's a process that we go through to help that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because it removes the right and wrong, doesn't it? If you look at what's working, what's not working, it doesn't matter if they don't know what they want to do, because I guess there's plenty of us out there that don't.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, we've got a viewer email coming up really shortly after the break. Stephanie, can you hang around with us and give us a hand answering that?
Absolutely, love to.
All right,
Excellent.
awesome. So we're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back with a letter and Stephanie to help us answer that. We'll see you after this brief message.
Hi, and welcome back to Coaches on the Couch, your relationship specialist exploring human behaviour. We have Phil, as always, and Stephanie here with us today. And Stephanie's stuck around because we've got a viewer email that we're going to address. So it reads, and it's from Robin in Preston, and she writes, "Hi Sharon and Phil, my husband and I desperately want to purchase our own property. We both have fairly good jobs and only go out to dinner and drinks no more than 3 days in a week, yet we are struggling to save for a deposit, especially in today's rising market. We still owe a fair bit on our cars, but the bills, rent and credit cards keep going up. We constantly argue over money and never seem to have enough, and the idea of being able to purchase our own property is moving further away. We're getting tired, worn out and beginning to give up on the idea of ever owning our own home. Can you see a way out for us?" Can we see a way out for Robin?
Well, I'm just listening to the words she used. Remember when I said the law of attraction just works anyway?
Yep.
Did you hear when she said she was tired, worn out? And even in the beginning she said, we're struggling to get the money together. Wow, I get it. Right? And this is what I meant earlier on the show when I said it's working anyway. And the more you listen to what people are saying, you can hear it working. So she's in a situation right now where things are tough.
And today's rising market.
And why is it a rising market? Because there's a buying frenzy out there, which means it's not tough for a lot of people because they're out there buying, right? So this is where the shift needs to occur, doesn't it, Stephanie? Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. Because if their passion for buying a property was pure, they would have one by now. They would absolutely have one by now. So what Robin needs to go away and look at is where is the resistance in her own thoughts or belief patterns about buying a house. So, and also to connect with that emotion of why does she actually want to buy the house? Like any decision that we make is in an attempt to make us more happy. So we're always looking towards more happiness. But sometimes that means that we're unhappy with where we are now. And of course, the way the law of attraction works is that if we're unhappy the way we are now, then we'll attract more to be unhappy about. So we need to bring it right back to square one, where we are here and now, and say, okay, so what is it about Robin's life that is amazing right now, without a property and without enough money?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's perfectly said, because I remember earlier on the show when you said, Stephanie, what am I doing? Right?
Yeah.
When you had that conversation with yourself, you really understood in yourself in that moment that things weren't aligned with your way of being.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you pulled yourself around in that flip of a moment, because that's where it always happens. It happens in a moment when you have the realization.
Yep.
Every time without fail. So you got yourself aligned.
Yep.
And when you align yourself up with the behaviours and your thinking.
And your actions.
And the actions.
Yeah.
Right? Thoughts, behaviours and actions, that's where it all comes into being, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend that Robin do, and it's fantastic, I want to say thanks to Robin for writing in, because it's such a common situation where gratitude is a real key. And Dr. John D. Martini, who's one of my mentors who I've learned a lot from, he uses the word appreciate. And there's no coincidence that to appreciate and be grateful means to grow. The word appreciate means to grow. So if you think about money appreciating in a bank account, means to grow. And the word appreciate, to be grateful for what we are here and now, is also to grow, one and the same thing. So I would say to Robin, need to come back to what is it that you have already. Half of the world's population live on less than $2 a day. And we are so wealthy here in Australia, but we don't see it because we're always looking for more. You know, we're bombarded with the media messages: buy more, get a bigger house, get a house, whatever it is. Buy more, be more, have more, and we become so unsatisfied with here where we are, and then the law of attraction just can't work
Absolutely.
for us. So it's all the wrong way around, the way we do things.
That's right. And also, Robin, the other thing that to take into consideration as well is have your place of being where you reside resemble where you want to be. So it might be putting up some images of the potential house that you're looking at buying, or the idea of the house that you want to build, or whatever it is around your home. You know, quite often us Australians have this old tendency to put our bills up on the fridge, you know, and it just serves as a constant reminder of the debt that we are in. So maybe replace, if you do have those things sitting on the fridge, replace it with where you want to be. Law of attraction is about bringing in more of what you want. So represent it around your home.
I so agree with that, Sharon. It's just like watching a movie. Like when we watch a movie and we're watching the movie and something frightening happens, we get scared about it. Right? And when something funny happens, we laugh about it. That's why I'm a big fan of creating vision boards, creating the things. Like Sharon said, get those bills out of the way, put them in your top drawer where you're looking at them once a week.
We're not saying not pay them,
I know,
by the way.
Once a week, like more often than not, you're getting more than 7 days to pay a bill.
Yeah.
So if you put them in the drawer, and every Saturday morning, spend a little bit of time and just do them out the way. But the rest of the time, surround yourself. Put those pictures of the car you want to see, the house you want to live in, the country, the holidays you want to go to. Create vision boards. I think I might have said it once or twice before, but I put my vision boards on the back of the toilet door. I get to see it every day without fail. And I'm surrounding myself with the things that I want in my life. If I don't have them in physicality, I'm really appreciative of what I've got. Like
absolutely.
And you know, manifesting the money is the perfect thing. Be grateful for the dollar you got in the bank now, because as you said, you know, there's so many people living less than $3 a day. Even if you're on the dole right now in this country, you're in the top 80% of income earners in the world. So it's a good thing to think about.
And also, just adding to that, you are who you hang around. So if it's a home that you're wanting to purchase, Robin, how about getting involved in some property seminars or meetings where you can connect with people, like-minded people that have purchased their own home, and where you can start to ask those questions around how did they go about it? What was the certain things that they put in place to make that, you know, happen within their life?
Perfectly said.
Is there anything you would like to add?
Oh, I think that there's, you know, in terms of the taking action, the law of attraction loves it when we start moving towards what it is that we want. So I would recommend that Robin start putting money away, even if it's $10 a week, because more money will then come in to replace it, and your bills will drop, and magic happens when you start committing to putting the money aside and saving. So just even if it's, as I say, even if it's $10 a month, it doesn't matter the amount, but have that commitment to putting it away, putting it in a savings account that you can't withdraw from, and watch that grow.
Perfectly said.
Perfectly.
It really is great. Now, if you want to know more about Stephanie's services, where do we go, Sharon?
Yeah, head on over to coachesonthecouch.com and you'll find some more information there about today's episode. That's it for today. Thanks for coming on board, Stephanie.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you here. And thank you to the viewers. Thanks for watching Coaches on the Couch.
See you next time.